Hello, welcome to the Food and Cosplayer podcast where Eddie talks. Yes, that's right, that Eddie. But I just want to inform you that we're about to listen to some views and comments from the hosts and guests that may not reflect everybody's opinions. So keep it nice, all right? We want a nice open conversation. And at this point, usually Eddie plays that banter section, but remember, you can always listen to other podcasts. But because you're here, you're going to have to listen to the banter.
Basically wore stupid shoes in hot weather, and a poor life choice was made, which resulted in sitting in the hotel bathroom floor at 11 p.m. after eating a very nice meal with you, Eddie, with a needle and some antiseptic, and just going
Uh,
to town on my feet.
I'm glad you didn't bring this. You didn't do it whilst we're at dinner. That's the bit I'm
Sat at
actually
Wagamama.
happy with.
It sounds like
So I
backstreet surgery.
It felt like it. Just cornered myself in the bathroom. Yeah, don't recommend. But I wouldn't have survived con without doing that.
But
So
yeah. But I heard you gained a friend.
yeah, it came back. So what was the point? But never mind. Don't wear dumb
Never
shoes
mind.
is the takeaway.
Yes, because no other cosplayers have ever done that.
I mean, this isn't the first time I've had to do this either. So
Hello, everybody. This is the Ed Talks About podcast, a podcast series to talk about cosplay, Comic Con, and everything else. I'm your host, Eddie, and this week we are talking about MCM London, May 2026. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I like putting the reverb on that. You won't hear that, but in the actual podcast, you'll hear a bit of the reverb. Anyway, joining us on the podcast is Alex from Natashka Cosplay,
yes,
and so yes, and
you got it.
so I got it indeed, and Sophia from Barthy Sphere Cosplay. I don't know, it's really weird in my brain. I was trying to do it alphabetically, but I either do it by real name alphabetically or cosplay handles alphabetically. So I've still screwed up both. Anyway, welcome to you both.
Hello.
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 Hello. Yes. Just to say, we know it's hot. I am in a bucket of my own sweat. It's not great. It's not nice. Just want to put that image into your heads so you know how much I'm suffering. So,
Thank
yes.
you.
Anyway, you are most welcome. You are most welcome. You've both been on the podcast before, Alex.
Yes.
Alex, it's been a while though, hasn't it?
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. You've had reasons which we won't go into unless you want to. But at the same time,
I'm perfectly fine with saying I had to take a hiatus for cancer treatment, but we're back.
Oh.
We are back.
Yay, well done.
Yes.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. All good. Hopefully.
All good.
All of that. Knock on wood and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and we've kept in. To say that Alex has been a bit of my K-pop guru. Is that the right word? Messiah.
Enabler?
I don't know. Enabler, that's the better word.
Would be the best word.
Yes. She's reminded me of a story how she said, "Oh, I'm going to see Blackpink," like a decade ago, and I went, "Who's Blackpink? What? Or K-pop? Whatever." And then a certain small independent film came around, and I might have got into K-pop since that film. So yeah, let's not go down that.
I may have hand delivered you a light stick at your office in the middle of the week.
Which I was very thankful for, and it sits in my. I can see it right now. It's sitting in my room very nicely. So yes, yes, I do have a Blackpink a light stick hammer just hanging there. Anyway, I'm gonna. So yeah, so Sophia, how did your panel go? I mean, I know the results, but I mean, I just want to talk about it anyway.
So yeah, it was my first panel. I think it went quite well. I was nervous because when I rehearsed it, I did it a bit too quickly. It still was a bit quick, but the question and answers afterwards were really good. I had a lot of people asking questions, and actually, I found that bit easier than the actual presentation itself.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
If you want to explain what your panel was very quickly.
So my panel was about upgrading your cosplays, whether you buy it, you thrift it, or you make it, just to take it to that extra level and add more depth.
Excellent. No, excellent. And I also did a panel. It was also nerve wracking, but I think mine was not as nerve wracking as your one because at least I had two other people to bounce off ideas and give myself time to like take a break, just just zone out for a little, not zone out, but but just give myself a moment before like jumping back into a conversation. So yeah. So yeah, that was good. I'll explain all of this later on because it's probably something I should explain in full. I hope. I don't know. Anyway, before we get onto the review of MCM London, I'll explain and do that explanation part. We'll still start with Sophia. Sophia, how before MCM London and before the prep of MCM London and your panel, how are you? How have you been?
Actually, not as stressed as I usually am before MCM. Like usually, like a week or so before MCM, I'm usually like incredibly stressed. Because I work full time. It's so difficult for me to like find time to make cosplay. So I can only usually like properly get down the week before. But it's been quite chill actually. I think I've finally found the key. Like, I've found what works, and
Hmm.
yeah, I think I felt like a lot more prepared this time round as
Good.
opposed to other years. Yeah.
That's good. And
Mm.
no trips to the hospital this time.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
good.
I've
Just
learnt my lesson.
Oh, there's a story here.
it,
Yes.
it has been
I,
I think it has
I
been mentioned before. Do you
I
want to?
did bring it up. I did bring it up, I think, on the first podcast that I joined you with, and
Yeah.
then I also brought it up on my panel as well. So a couple of years ago, what was it? I was doing Khal Drogo, and I was making some last minute extra bits to try and improve it. And I think it might have been two components. It was either the fumes from the resin that I was using, or it was the fact that I was using contact adhesive, and I think I might have touched my face with like, so I got it on my hands and then I touched my face, which I
Oh
think is
no.
probably I think that was probably the more likely one because I figured out that whenever I get glue on my hands, like even if it's nail glue, I get allergic reaction, my fingers get really itchy. So if I touch my face, I get the reaction on my face. And the following day, I went to con on the Saturday, and my eyes started feeling very dry. I had a shoot with Eddie, and I said to Eddie, I said, "Please, can you edit my puffy eyes? They're just they're really swollen and puffy." And then I ended up going home early. The following morning, my right eye was pretty much shut, and I had to go to A&E, and I missed a whole day of con.
Oh my
And
God.
then it happened again 2 years after that, but it was a month before con, so I was able to sort that all out before. But yes, I've learnt my lesson, and I'm always a massive advocate for PPE when you're working on cosplays.
I'm just astounded that these things happen to you. That's all. So, yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's fine. So I'm just knocking into things in my office. I found a magnet now, so I'll play with that. Alex, how are you? I mean, was it difficult to get back into the swing of things for cosplay? Because you didn't decide to just like go, I'll just rewear some of my old cosplay. Let's forget what the reason why. But you decide to get back into making cosplay. How
Yeah,
was it?
I've had the best time. I've spent honestly, I've spent the last so I haven't been to a full weekend con for 2 years because I physically couldn't. I have been to the odd one, like one day. I did a day of MCM May last year, and I've been to one or two Brum megacons for the day, where I've kind of worn a casual cosplay or I've not cosplayed at all because I couldn't because of weather or like I don't fit into any of my old costumes very well anymore because of everything. So I'm actively working on that, but it was an opportunity to make something new and it was really good fun. So yeah, I was still crunching a little bit, was kind of astounded that I was con crunching when I very much did not need to be. It just is a natural state of flow, I guess, for a cosplayer to just be like,
No,
oh
it's
shit,
no, it's
we're like a
not.
week before con.
It is not a natural state. Stop con crunching. Oh,
In fairness, I wouldn't have been con crunching if my stupid sewing pattern had been accurate with how much fabric I needed, and I didn't have to emergency order more fabric last minute, because it turns out that the pattern didn't tell me it only made half the jacket. It was dumb. So, it technically wasn't my fault. But no, I've had the best time getting ready for MCM, honestly. It's made me
That's
really
good.
want to start making stuff again, and I got myself a new sewing machine and was very validated in the fact that I can sew. It was my old machine that was giving me all the issues. It wasn't me. So that was nice.
Isn't there a proverb that goes, bad people blame their tools?
I don't know, but
yeah.
my last sewing machine,
Sometimes
the foot would yank itself off like mid sew, and then your stitches would go wonky, and I couldn't put a zipper in because the zipper foot wouldn't work. It was a whole thing. Whereas now I can just sew. It's amazing.
It sounded like it wanted to yeet itself, but Sophia, you was about to say something.
I was going to say sometimes the tools can let you down. It's like when you're using a blade for foam, right? And if you're using a rusty blade, you're just not gonna have a fun time. And then once you finally decide to get a new blade, it cuts like butter and it's amazing. So I have to disagree with you there, Eddie, about your proverb.
True, very true. Fair enough. You can disagree with me, but I want to say I bought this roller knife sharpener tool for my kitchen. Oh my god, game changer! But I've been using it for other things that needs to be sharp. So I've got this kitchen tool that's meant to scrape off the crap off the cooker tops. But obviously the blade gets dull. But I use a sharpener to sharpen it a little, just to give it a bit more life. Game changer. Anyway,
you're just going around your house trying to figure out things that you can sharpen, just for the fun of it.
No. Anyway, let's get back to the podcast. So the format of the good and the bad and the ugly is basically we will talk about an event. Obviously, the recent one, MCM London. We'll say what was good, what was bad, and when I say bad, we're talking about minor things, and I think ugly will be the major things. And hopefully, there won't be any uglies, but if there are, we will talk about it. If there's any minors, obviously we will, and obviously we'd like to promote the good stuff as well. Now, before I forget and before we start the review, I must say right now, I was given a creator pass for the event. Though that MCM has given me this and I'm there to help promote the event, I'll hopefully be able to be unbiased about my views. I will be able to say the good and some bads of the event. And Sophia, you were given a creator pass as well.
Yes, so this was my first creator pass. I've been going to MCMs for 16 years, so all the previous years I've always bought my tickets.
Excellent. And Alex, were you given a creator pass or did you buy a ticket?
I bought my ticket. I've never gone for a creative pass. I'm too scared.
To be fair, so was I. But then I thought I'm doing a panel, so I might as well try for a creator pass and just I think they're trying to. I think by the looks of it, they are giving a lot of new creators a go with the creator pass, so it's worth applying.
Yeah, I might do in the future. Where I took the 2 years off and I've done like nothing content wise. I was like, it'd be a bit cheeky if I just kind of go for it right now. Where I'm like, hey, I've not done anything for ages, but please. So maybe once I'm kind of back in the swing of things and actually doing proper things again, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, no.
But,
understand. Understand it. So, right. I don't usually start with the ugly, but I'm gonna get this ugly out of the way first, okay? Because we're all thinking of it, and let's just get it out of the way. Yes, it was hot. The weather was bad. Okay, that was at least one major thing about it. We were told about it about a week before that the weather will be bad. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, and I was wrong. So yeah, so they already chalked that up under the bad. The one thing I do just want to mention is that I don't know if that's the responsibility of MCM stroke Repop or the Excel Center or even ourselves to like readjust the day that we go to these events. I just briefly, I mean, I don't know. I think I can't imagine that Repop and and Excel would go, hey, let's install more water stations or more coverings for to be shaded areas and all that. No, I'll save it for the bad actually. But I remember the last time there was a heat wave at AMCN and people did moan, "Oh, I wish they installed more water fountains." How? Where? Where they're going to put them? Is it temporary? Is it fixtures? If it's temporary, how are you going to keep getting the water to it?
Mm.
I think I don't think it's that. What's the word? I don't think it's a hell of I don't think you can put that expectation on a venue to install more water fountains, even if for a heat wave that'll only last 3-4 days. So that's just my opinion. I'm not defending either of these. I'm trying to think it logically. It's like if I was owning this venue, like, well, can I put more for? I don't know how at late note. Maybe they could provided bottles of water for free at certain places. Maybe that's I would say. But yeah, anyway, very quickly, I think Sophia was and so just
Yeah.
on the heat.
So my cosplays weren't particularly weather appropriate, but I did actually change my plans for Sunday. I was meant to do Shepherd from Mass Effect, but it would have been all black cosplay, and so I just changed it to a cosplay I had already done on the Saturday. I think ultimately most of us are adults. We choose what we're wearing for this weather, and if you're complaining about the heat, but you're wearing like thick armor or something that's not suitable for this type of weather, you can't really have a go at the organizers or the venue when you're the one that's chosen to dress like that. And then also with the water fountains, I think there might have been 3 that I knew about, and there wasn't a ridiculous amount of queuing for the water fountains. Like I was only waiting probably about maximum 1 minute to fill up my water bottle. So
Yeah.
yeah, there was plenty of access
Yeah.
for water.
I'll have to counter that because I did see long lines of queues for water. I think on the Saturday mainly, but obviously that's a busy day and things like that.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Alex, what about yourself? Any comments on the weather before we move to the usual schedule of just talking about the goods?
I don't think there's really anything MCM probably could have done about it more than like they had the aircon on, which really is a first. I don't remember an MCM where the aircon has been that noticeable. So where it was a visible kind of like you could feel the difference, when you walked in. So that was nice. But no, I mean, I definitely did not dress appropriately. Mainly because my cosplay had been a year in the work, and obviously the position I was in where I don't have any cosplays to fall back on because nothing fits me right now. And I didn't want to go to an MCM for a full weekend with no cosplay because I was like, I'm here to cosplay. This is why I go to these things. So I don't want to just rock up in regular clothes because of the weather. So I did. Okay, I was in a plastic dress on on the Saturday, and I couldn't sit down, and I couldn't take it off to go to the loo, so I didn't drink a lot. But that was on me. I would never be like, oh God, MCM should have done better because that was on me, and I mitigated it with taking breaks, like being inside as much as possible. I had a portable fan. I took things. I think we weren't really prepared for it because obviously a few days, like you said, a few days before it was due to be thunderstorming and nowhere near as hot. So it was a bit of a surprise. But no, I think MCM do well. I saw quite a few fountains, like the further up as well. You went towards the back of the XL. There were next to no queues at the water fountains. So I think, yeah, it was just hot.
Yeah, it was just hot. So I just want to get that one. I just want to get that one out of the way because I know that's going to be on everyone's mind.
Can I also add something else?
You may.
I think so. I've been going to MCM for 16 years now, and the May one is usually always very hot. I think this has been the hottest one to to my knowledge, but
Yeah.
it's always been really hot for May MCM. There are some outliers. Some of them have been like kind of rainy or like chilly, but on the whole, if you've been going to MCM for quite a few years, you should already be aware that it's going to be a hot one and make preparements for that.
Yep. You're not getting any disagreements out of me and things like that. I was going to say something I've now forgot. Anyway, let's go with the goods. Let's start with the good. And just say I do have comments from people that I've been posting mainly on my Instagram, but I'll read them out towards the end of of the episodes once we've done our goods and the bad and any other uglies if there are. But good. Well, I have to say, excuse me, just want to clear my throat. There was a lovely panel on a Saturday morning that was really good to no. No, just I want to no. Do you generally want to like bring up my panel because though it's a personal good for me because I do get a bit of like stage fright. Despite how I do my podcast, how much I do videos online, I don't feel that I'm great talking to people or talking on stage. I do get very nervous, and me doing these panels is just another step for me just to get at ease with like talking on stage or talking to people, not talking too fast. And just be like hopefully natural on stage. And having a bit of nerves is not too bad, but I just want to say thank you to the people at MCM for allowing me to have a panel on at the cosplay stage. Thank you to Simon for like helping with the tech and all that, but also almost trying to kill me twice on stage.
They were validated, those
Yeah.
attempted killings.
No. Oh, that reminds me. Since you both said yes, that means even though you've two not met each other, you've both been in the same room as each other. So,
Oh, that's fun.
Alex, yeah. So Alex was the one standing in the back with the butterfly dress.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't sit down, so I just awkwardly stood in the back, and then the two people I was with also stood with me out of like solidarity. So even though there were empty chairs in front of them, I was like, "You guys sit down." They were like, "No, we're gonna stand with you." So I just looked like I was just hovering, but no, I was here for you, Eddie.
Oh, thank you. I'll do a proper genuine good, but I'm trying to think. I think I think the Cosplay Central. That's it. Yeah, one of the right. I know this sounds like a really small minor thing, but the queuing halls that took up the first 4 halls from N1 to N4 kind of pushed everything else up to N11. And then when you popped out at N11, you're a lot closer to the Cosplay Central and the writer's block and all that part of the ICC part of the Excel Center. So it kind of made it a little bit more connecting between that area to the main halls because I think last time it was a hell of a big of a disconnect. And I actually didn't realize, I think I probably did, now thinking about it, I probably did know, but I always forget that the main stage is no longer inside the main halls. It's actually within the ICC part of the XL, but in the downstairs area, and then the Cosplay Central is at the upstairs area. So it does seem like the Repop MCM are trying to expand and make better use of the traffic and the layout. And I just want to point at that, pushing those halls up a few halls so that the queuing hall was actually you were actually inside quite. I would have thought quite nicely, especially with the heat and all that. It actually was quite good. I think just to bring up the comments in Instagram or someone I heard, I think they did say that actually the queuing was actually a lot better getting into the building and things like that. You no longer have to go through a long way to get back into the building. But yeah, I just want to put that one in. Any comments about the queue hall and the actual layout of the building?
Well, I'm glad that their Cosplay Central is in the ICC. I think it's the second time that they've done it, but I just love it because I go to a lot of Cosplay Central panels, and when it used to be in the main hall, I found it really difficult to listen to, and I found it very overstimulating. But now that it's in its own kind of private area, it's just a lot more chill, and I can actually focus, and it just helps me kind of unwind and process things a lot better.
No, I think that's a very valid point. I think again, we are a community that's full of people on the spectrum who deal with different stimuli in different ways, be it visual, audio, or both, or just other needs. And to have it in a fairly quiet area, because it was quite nice and quiet up there. Although as soon as I turned up, I probably was causing a riot. Uh, and then so I totally get that. Alex, anything about the in a sense the layout of the halls?
Yeah, because where I've not been for a few years, like properly for a few years, it was nice to see how it felt a lot more spread out. It didn't feel anywhere near as crowded because I was very concerned about the Saturday where it was going to be so hot about everybody being inside because obviously they had the aircon on, but it didn't feel, at least I didn't find that it felt too crammed in. Obviously, it was busy, but I think having that extra space at the back where they now allow you to go at the back because obviously they never used to, it just
Yep.
felt like there was, I mean, I've been kicked out trying to shoot Avengers stuff up in that top bit many a time.
Yep.
For anybody
Oh,
who doesn't know, the Avengers, part of the Avengers was filmed at the top of the XL, and they used to always kick you out for trying to do photo shoots up there. But yeah,
whilst I remember, does that mean that when you do come back to do Black Widow, are we shooting up there
oh, of course.
specifically?
Oh,
Okay, just checking.
100%. Yeah,
Carry on, carry on.
I haven't shot up there for a very long time, so yes, please. Yeah, Black Widow is not a May MCM outfit because that black catsuit in that heat, I would have actually died. So
Yes.
props to every Black Widow that I saw this weekend. You all looked incredible, and you were all incredibly dumb doing it, and I love that for you. Because I used to be that. That used to be me. But no, it felt very spread out a lot more, which was
Mm.
nice. And like a few times I was trying to meet up with people and we would meet by like the autograph panels because it kind of opened up into like a big wide space, which was never too busy, which was quite nice. It just felt like you could breathe a lot more in there. Which so yeah, I liked this layout and I liked having that cosplay bit up the top. I feel like it could have maybe been signposted a bit more because unless you kind of knew about it, it might have been a bit difficult to maybe find if you were more casual with everything. But no,
No,
on the
yeah.
whole, I think they did it good.
That was a major criticism of the last time they when they first moved up there last October. I was like, there's a bit of a disconnect about where it was. Like I said, because they moved the north stand halls higher up, it does felt like there was a better connection to it. I don't think many people still knew about it. Like when people said, "Oh, I missed your panel. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know where the Cosplay Central was." So it's, even though it's been two sessions up there. I think, I don't know how to.
2 events.
2 events, thank you. 2 events in that area. It's still not known that the Cosplay Central has been up there. And I think they probably took, I don't know, I still believe MCM are actually listening to this podcast because I mentioned it would have been really nice to have the cosplay, another, like a cosplay repair station within the hall still.
Yes, and they
Then
did that this year.
they did that this year, but
Yeah.
that made it confusing. That if you say, "Oh, I'm going to the cosplay lounge or the repair station," well, there's two now. Where do you go? So, so just to say that it's good they made progress like that, but it made me feel like that. Oh, is it now back in the halls? Possibly. Anyway, just to cover that off. Would anyone like else to like say a good whilst we're here? Who wants to go
Yes,
first?
I will touch upon the accessibility. I can only go what I've experienced, because I know some people might have had a different experience. So with my accessibility needs, I'm neurodivergent and I have urgent toilet access as well. So especially in this hot weather, I can get very overstimulated, and I always praise the reset room that they have. So if anyone hasn't used it before, the reset room is in the Platinum Suite. It's towards the west entrance, and when you go upstairs, it's really nice, quiet. The lights in the room are all dimmed. It plays like quite soothing music, and it's nice and cool in there. And I used it on the Friday. I was feeling very, very overstimulated, and I managed to just take all my layers of cosplay off, took my wig off, and I just laid down on the floor for like 10 minutes. And then when I came out, I felt so much better. And something I've noticed is that they've actually spread this out to different locations in the hall. So there was another one called the Lo-Fi Lounge, but I can't remember where it was. And then they also had a family one near the tree. Is it called the tree house? They've
Yeah, I
got the
think he
family
has.
things,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think one of the problems last time with the reset room is it got very busy because there was a lot of people that wanted to use it. And I think by having these extra locations, it took that pressure off.
Mm.
And then one other thing that I would like to touch upon is that they had British Sign Language interpreters
Oh yes.
at some of the panels,
Oh.
which I only found out about a couple of days ago because my panel had BSL interpreters. So that's quite encouraging. So I would like to see more of that. I did feel sorry for the interpreters that did my panel, and I apologize because um, My friend took a video of them trying to interpret the names of my characters that I'd cosplayed, and I could see that they were really struggling to interpretate my character names. So I apologize in advance. So I think maybe one thing they can improve if they ask for like an overview of like my presentation beforehand, that might help the interpreters because
Yeah.
they I couldn't see what they're doing, but I imagine they might have struggled a little bit to interpret.
Yeah, from what I understand, they would probably try to spell it out. I think if it's like names, but yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the lo-fi room, was there a little girl doing her homework listening to music?
Oh, what, like the video?
Yes. I love that someone laughed, and I can hear a lot of confusion.
The silence said it all,
I
I
did,
think.
really did. Anyway, we ignore.
I
No,
got ya.
yeah,
I
thank
got
you,
ya.
thank you. I know I do like to praise the like you said, the um those runes, because I think I've been seeing it for definitely since the pandemic, about last 3-4 years now. And there's not just at London. I know they do one at the Birmingham site as well. So it's really nice that they do that. Like I said, the community is full of people on the spectrum, and it's nice that they are seen and validated, and make sure that they are cared for. So things like that, yeah. So that's all. If there's any more goods, we'll keep going around. But Alex, is there anything you wanted to either comment on those things or just start doing your good list?
No, I think I have to agree with pretty much everything that's kind of been said. And really, in terms of my good list, I think just seeing absolutely everybody who was there having a great time, and I got to bump into like all the people that I've missed over the last 2 years, which is really lovely,
Mm.
and just the vibes. The vibes at
Yeah.
MCM May are always great. So yeah, I had a really good time. That's pretty much my good list.
Oh, that's good. I mean, obviously, you said you've been here, you've done the odd day here and there, but I mean, doing a full
Mm.
weekend for the first time, uh, can you see that there has been a change in maybe attitudes or the change of layout? Because you said about the aisles
Yeah.
being a lot wider. I've always been praising that those aisles are wide. And there was one comment in the on my Instagram that I will bring up later on, but I mean, do you think you probably haven't seen those security barriers before, really, have you? The ones at the either
So
entrances.
no, and those are actually kind of on my bad list.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave that. We'll leave that
Yeah.
to one side then. We'll leave that to one
Um,
side.
yeah, but no,
What else?
in terms of there being a difference, yes, completely.
Mm, yeah,
Because I mean, I haven't done a full weekend of MCM since 2023,
yeah,
and then I did a day last year. So I'd had basically an entire year where I didn't do any Comic Con at all. And then I did a day last year on the Saturday. I just traveled up for the day, and I was in difference in weather. I was in a hoodie and jeans, and that would have been impossible this weekend. um, it was a cosplay. It was Undercover Black Widow from the Winter Soldier, and not a single person recognized it because all the Marvel
I
people
think
are too young now, which makes
I
me sad.
remember this conversation we had. Yes.
But no, I have noticed a difference. It felt friendlier. That was the main vibe I got. Um, I don't know if it's just everything seemed to run smoother. I like that you don't have to queue up even if you've already got a ticket, because back in the day, I've been doing MCM since 2013, and I remember back in the day, even if you already had like your ticket, you still had to go through the queue hall to like either pick it up or like just to be checked by like bag check, weapons check, and all of that. And I like now that
Mm,
you can just go straight through the front. It just cuts down
yeah.
so much time. So that was really good. I know they've done that for a fair while now, but it's always nice that it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
so
Yeah, I
yeah,
get that. Yeah.
I think it's definitely heading in a good direction compared to where it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've personally always enjoyed it, but obviously it's always had and always will have its faults. But I do think
No,
it's improving. I've definitely seen an improvement having time out away from it.
oh, absolutely. I totally understand that. I think there was a good mixture of stalls as well. I think there's a um,
Yeah.
I still like they got a good number of artist alley stalls, but again, there's an explanation point that one of my commenters has made. I will share later, but That's just, I keep saying that because I want to make sure I do actually talk about it later on. I think the one thing I want to bring up is that there was an author that I was not aware of, and how big this author was, as in
Yes, same.
popularity, not in size, and in popularity. But yes, his name is Brandon Sanderson. So I just walked past it with an empty chair, seeing his name there. I went, "Who's this Brandon Sanderson?"
I thought it was Brian Sanderson, wasn't it?
I thought it was. I thought it
It's
was.
Brian. It's
Is it?
Brian. I don't know. Is it
Oh, I'm
Brian?
gonna
Hang
Google
on, I'm
it.
looking it up.
Oh,
Oh no,
let's.
it's Brandon. Sorry, you're
Okay.
correct.
Oh
No,
my
it's
god.
me. It's me getting the name wrong.
No, that's fine. It's usually me that gets the names wrong, so it would have been too far fetched for me to get that wrong. But like 2-3 hours later, after I was shooting with some people, I walked past his stall again, and there was a queue like a mile long. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but they had like the official queue, a little break so that traffic can go through. Then the unofficial queue that built up, they had to like extend out. So that's how popular he was, and it's good to see them bringing in those type of people into the. I know we're still talking about the good, but one of my gripes about the MC events that I wish they can bring in. I've always keep saying this year on year. I wish they can bring in a top A-lister and do one like like a San Diego type of exclusive panel, like maybe a Marvel announcement, DC announcement, a BBC announcement. You know, I'm not saying they need to do one for each day, for each hour, but just one major one that'd be so good, just to give MCM a marquee thing to say this is what this event does. Or another, or or a different event may take. Anyway, I don't want to keep babbling because I'm not using the time, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things that my guests want to talk about. But yes, it's things like that I want. That I've just seen that there's I think there's a still a good mix of things to do at the event. I think someone did there was archery there. This I didn't see it, but there
Really?
was also like because CJ Diddams hurt herself whilst doing archery. So
Oh
yeah,
no.
I think the bowstring hit her at her elbow. I can't verify
I know
that.
there was wrestling there because I got
Yes,
really jump
I
scared
watched
by
the
the ring.
wrestling.
Yeah. Sorry, Sophie, did you say you watched it?
I watched a bit, and it's my first time watching any kind of wrestling, but I really enjoyed it. And I didn't realize how popular it was. It was a huge crowd
Oh,
around it.
yeah.
Uh,
I've been watching WWE recently, so I don't mean to interrupt you. And but yes, no, I've been watching, and the popularity of it. I was meant to do a content about it, but I forgot. But carry on, Sophia.
yeah, so I can understand what you meant about the jump scares because I didn't realize how loud it would be when they slammed them to the floor,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, oh, and yeah, it was quite good, and I think they've had wrestling for quite a while now. I think they've definitely had it for the last year or so at MCM, so it
Yeah,
seems to be popular. So
yeah.
I'm sure they'll keep having that at each event.
They were definitely
It's
there in October. I don't know about any other other London events, but it was popular in the Birmingham editions of MCM. So that's the only wrestling I've seen at those events. I think Alex, you're about to jump in.
yeah, I was just gonna say it was a really just it's so I found it really odd that it was there, but I mean I get why it's there. It's obviously very popular and it is obviously in that kind of circle of things. But yeah, it was just really odd to me that I was like, oh my god, there's some wrestling. Like just as there's been a massive thump as somebody's been brutally slammed to the floor.
Mm.
It was I enjoyed it. Everybody around me, all of us would like jump at the same time as we were moving. It was just like, oh my
No,
god, okay, there's another one.
no,
But no,
absolutely.
no, I
Yeah,
enjoy seeing like the mix of things because it did feel like there's a definitely compared to like so when I first started doing MCMs, like Marvel was the big thing, right?
mm,
So that was kind of a massive draw for MCM. Whereas now it feels
mm,
like there's definitely a lot more independent stuff. There's a lot more variety of things.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I found K-pop merch there, like an actual
Oh,
physical K-pop store selling albums. Like,
oh, did you? I missed that
yeah.
out.
Oh, it was fun. You probably had them all anyway, because I did.
Oh, did,
I looked at the Blackpink section and I was like, no, got all of them. Um, yeah, it's nice seeing a bit of a different mix of things. And oh, a good the stamp rallies. I don't know how long people have
oh
been doing
Yes.
this. I really enjoy them. They're good fun.
they are
Like,
really good fun. But I will say, I wonder if it's sorry to like be a Debbie Downer on this. I don't know how much. I don't know how much this is such a false economy. As in, would I've actually spent money at these stalls if there wasn't a stamp rally? Because when I
Oh,
first did it at a
100%.
different event, yeah, when I was at a different event doing it, I spent. Sophia, this was Hyper Japan. I think
Yes, I thought it would be that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when K-pop Demons first came out, Hyper Japan really jumped on at the artists there, and there's me go, drop the money, drop the money, drop the money, and I came out afterwards thinking, I don't know if I really would have spent money at these places. But anyway, that's just the thing. But hey, they are good because like if those who don't know what stamp rally is, there will be a set of stalls that kind of communicate with each other. Say, hey, if we set up a stamp rally, whereas as in if you purchase something from our store, we'll stamp it, and then if you complete the stamps, and it can range from maybe like 3, 5, 10 stalls that you have to collect through. At the end of it, one of the store owners, you present your fully stamped rally, you'll get an additional prize stroke items to take home. So yeah, I really enjoyed it when I did it, and I said I've done it twice now. One at Birmingham, one in Hyper Japan. I haven't done one in London, but I'm glad I don't recognize those in London because I'd be very, very poor. So yes,
Oh
but
yeah,
yes,
I
you
mean,
enjoyed this, but you
yeah,
enjoyed
I was
Stamp
very,
Rally.
very poor.
Can I ask what was the Stamp Rally theme?
So we did the Pokemon one, me and a friend,
Ah,
but
yes.
we did it for another friend because she couldn't make it to the
Okay.
event, and she's
Yes.
like, Pokemon's her thing. So we
Yeah.
originally were like, let's just kind of go to a few stalls, see what's
Mm.
there, and see how it goes. And then it got to the point where we were like finding stuff on each stall that we wanted anyway. So
Mm.
between the two of us, we completed it. So that was good fun. It was like a weird little quest on the Friday morning, just to like, oh, let's go do
Yeah.
this. And I like it because I did one in January at MegaCon. I did the Twilight one, and it was don't judge me, don't judge
I'm
me,
not
Eddie.
judging. I love Twilight. I love Twilight.
Um, but I found it was a nice way to find stalls that I ordinarily may not have found. So that was quite cool, and like find little trick because a lot of the time you don't have to spend an
Yeah.
awful lot either. It's like buy a
Yeah.
sticker or a couple of stickers or something. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time I'm like, oh, like support a small creator, get some cool stuff, like just have a bit of a kind of like a
Mm.
scavenger hunt, I guess would be the
Yeah.
best way to
No,
describe it.
absolutely.
So I like
Well,
that it's kind of an
absolutely.
additional thing where you don't have to do it, but if you want
Mm.
to, you can get involved. I like that. That's fun.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Before we move over to the bad, something just popped into my mind. Sophia,
Yes.
did you do the lip sync competition? No, you did the karaoke
I
session.
did cosplay karaoke on Friday.
Yes. How did that go? Is
Oh,
that part of a good for you?
Um,
Uh-oh.
yes and no. It was fun. I literally nabbed the last spot on the list, and I thought I'd got there pretty like early because I know they said that the spaces are limited, but I think I got like probably about half or an hour after opening, and I went straight to the fringe stage. I signed up. I got the last spot, but the timing wasn't well planned, and I literally when I got up to do my karaoke, the event was closing, but there was still a good crowd sticking around, and it was really fun, and everyone was getting involved. But yeah, I think the timing issue was a little bit of a problem, but I still had lots of
Yeah.
fun.
Is that
Yeah.
new, the karaoke, or is it just my imagination?
No, I think they've been doing it for a few events now.
Ah, okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, just thought I'd just mention it. Just thought I'd mention it. If no one's got any pressing good stuff you want to say, I'm open. I can open up to the bad. Right, I'm going to be very honest and I'm not trying to do this because I was given a creator pass or not. I don't know if I got real, true bad stuff to mention about this event because I'm linking any gripes or any moaning I had about the event to the weather.
Mm.
So every time I thought about it, I go, oh, this, oh, that, I went, oh, it might be because I'm just hot and bothered. I'm just tired. So I don't know if I can be objectively think this was bad and it was nothing to do with the weather. So, because like I was trying to get through the crowds, it's annoying. It's more annoying than usual, but I'm only going because either people coming out of the building or into the building, type of thing. I know I've got a bad, and I'll say it. I'll say every bloody year, I'll say this to the people who insist on doing those TikTok dances in the outside area, outside the statue. I'm not asking you to stop. I'm just going to ask you to move it away from the traffic where people are walking to the stairs to get. I honestly do not understand why you cannot have that somewhere else. Okay? Because you are blocking traffic. That's all I'm going to say.
I
Moving.
think they're doing it to rage bait you, you know.
They really do. I bet. MCM are listening to all the good stuff. All the people who want to rage bait me are doing that. Oh my god. To be fair, it was only Saturday that happened, I think. I saw it as. Whereas Friday, I think they did decide to move it down to where the what's it called? Where the billboard is. Oh, that's another bad. I'll bring that in a minute. But yeah, those. I'm not saying I don't want people to do TikTok videos. I know that's a thing. You know, you've got to create a pass. You've got to create some content. Absolutely fine. I have no issues with that. It's just that if you're going to do those big circular, take up a lot of space so that people can do those mass dances, please just move it somewhere else. You've got a big green area as well. Just move it there. Please, just elsewhere, okay? Do it, run around the grey walls if you want to. I don't care.
Oh, your favourite place,
Well,
Eddie.
Yeah.
the Great Walls were already being taken up by photographers, so
Yes, but
no
it's
chance.
those dancers are going around the grey walls. It will just ruin their days. Ha 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 ha. One more bad thing before I forget. Yes, well, kind of a mini bad, but I found it really disheartening on the Friday to see security were kicking people off that sloped green area where the billboard was.
Yes.
But I think they did relent over the weekend, knowing how hot it was. There was no real place to sit down. That billboard did provide shade for people, so I think they kind of let, if you're sitting in the billboard shaded area, we'll leave you there. If you're at the top of the garden part where there are chairs, they'll kick you out that way. I think it's just to make sure that people weren't jumping the fences and things like that, which I do understand. But I just felt like on Friday that was a bit cruel to like kick them all off that area, because I understand they're just following rules, following directives, but I just felt that was a bit cruel when it was a real hot day and yeah, people just want someone to sit down and find shade. Anyway, opening up for either comments about what I've just said or other bads.
I can jump in
well, I
with
was going to
my
talk.
bad.
Oh, go on.
No, I was good. No, you can go.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I was going to mention about the slope, but it kind of links into your bad about the barrier, so I will let you.
Yeah, so
continue.
yes, like you, I think most of my bad comes from the heat. But the one that I don't think does so much was, obviously this is my first time with the whole new barrier system, and I didn't notice it so much on the Friday, but on Saturday, I mean, admittedly it was extremely hot. I was in a stupid costume, so you know, I hold my hands up at that. Um, I I struggle with kind of moving around for long periods of time, like since going through everything that like medically with myself. I still struggle with a lot of stuff, and I was in a very hard to wear costume in the sense that moving around for me was quite slow. At this point, I was flagging. It was about 2:30, I want to say. I was flagging. It was hot. I was ready to leave. I was trying to leave to go back to the hotel to change, and I was outside on the green at the point where you've got the sunborn and the trees, and I needed to get back up into the XL to then get back. So I just needed a ramp because I physically, in my cosplay, I could not go up and down stairs. I couldn't move my legs enough to get up and down stairs. So going up the front of the XL was not an option for me. So I needed a ramp. They would not let me use the ramp that was right in front of me. They had blocked it off. People could come down it, but nobody was allowed up it if you were on the inside of the green. The only way to then get to a ramp was to leave at the bottom of the green. So it required me to walk all the way over the green, which in Saturday crazy crowds is hellish. And also it's hot. I can barely keep walking because I'm so broken and done at this point. I had to walk across down to the bottom of the green, out round the corner. You can't see, but I'm doing hand actions about my directions as well. Like round the corner of the XL to that tiny ramp by the Fox, which is so narrow that I saw two wheelchairs get stuck, physically stuck, trying to turn and navigate them. So I had people bashing into me, people with pushchairs, wheelchairs trying to squeeze past. We were all trying to squeeze up and down at the same time because you can only move one way. at least the wider ramp, you can get more than one person width-wise. You can get like a whole crowd in there and you're absolutely fine. So by the time I'd gotten to the top of the XL, I could barely keep going. And I was like, it took me at least 10 minutes to get to that point. Whereas if I had been able to exit the green at that corner, then it would have been a few minutes and then I'd have been in and I would have felt a hell of a lot better. And I know they're just security, just doing their job. It's absolutely fine. But I just feel like more exits would be handy, like not necessarily entrance points, because I get the whole having to check passes and things and making sure obviously only people who are allowed in there can go in there. But just having extra exit points and not having a bottleneck at the top and the bottom would just make so much stuff easier for just accessibility purposes. Because I'm not disabled. I don't consider myself disabled, but I do have health issues, which mean that things are more difficult for me. I don't look like I do. So I do find a lot, and it's something I've experienced throughout all of my health stuff, is I don't look like your typical cancer patient, basically, to say that. So I do find sometimes people are like, oh, she's just, she's in a stupid costume. She's just not feeling great. That's nothing. You know what I mean? And I had the same thing at
Yeah.
the back of the XL trying to leave. Once I'd gotten through the XL, I wanted to leave it. And I ended up in front of a door, which led to exactly where I needed to go. It was empty. There was nobody there. Security was stood there refusing to let me through. And they were like, no, you have to go up those stairs, down the little corridor, out, round, then down the stairs to get to that exact point. And I was like, I physically cannot do that. But they refused. And I know, and it's not down to them. Absolutely, like they were really polite. I can't fault any of them at all. They were extremely polite. Some of them were very apologetic, being like, I'm really sorry, I can't let you through, but I would if I could situation. I just feel like more exit points would be valid, especially for people with accessibility issues, and just especially when it's so hot and bothered and lots of stuff going on. That was my only gripe. The rest of it, absolutely fine, aside from the 30-degree weather. That
Again,
was a little long thing.
No problem. Just to not say defend the security, I did observe that when they did see someone who were visibly had accessibility issue, I think they did kind of let them in and out through certain parts of the barriers. But I know what you're
that's
saying.
The thing, I'm not visibly like that, so I think that was why they didn't with me, because I did watch them let people through, which is why I went. I was like, I'm right by them, so I'll go through as well. And they were like, no. And I was like, but you literally just let them. And because that person was visibly I think they had a walking aid or something, but just because I physically don't look like that doesn't mean that I don't also need, let's just, what I mean? But also it shouldn't, if you see somebody who's kind of asking really nicely, like, I'm really sorry, I'm not feeling well, can you please let me through? Surely there should be, I don't know. Just generally, I think it would just be handy to have a couple of extra exit points so that you're not being forced to just bottleneck, because the bottlenecks were quite slow moving and rough at times on the Saturday. So
I understand. I understand that. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. No,
especially as security are stationed there. Why you stood there if you're not doing any? You know what I mean? That's a barrier. Why you stood at that barrier point? I don't get it.
No, I understand. There was the time when I was like, the one that's at the shall we say the corner where the bridge nearest the bridge.
That was where it was.
So it was just, and I was at the east entrance of the XL, but I'm trying to get out, and security said, no, you have to go back up, go through. I'm like, oh, really? Because the door's right there. Come on. And I'm sure I've seen people go through it, but I didn't want to argue at the time. But anyway, cool. No, I see your point, and and it's definitely valid and things like that. So Sophia, was there anything in your bad list?
I want to just add on to Alex's point. I did see on other creators' pages that they also experienced the same thing with accessibility, where the security were only letting people who are visibly disabled go through these exit and enter through these points. And I saw on one creator's page that they were asking where the accessibility entrances, and I think it wasn't the MCM staff, it was the XL staff questioning why, what disability do you have, and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a sore topic, but I think maybe there needs to be more communication, or maybe if you have because I know with MCM they do offer the special assistant stickers. So would it be a case of if you have a special assistant sticker and you show that, then they let you through or something? I know not everyone wants to disclose what why they need certain accessibilities, and they shouldn't be asking anyway, regardless. But I think there needs to be better communication about that stuff so that you can plan your day accordingly. And then the second thing, so my bad is about the barriers as well. The first day they had the barriers at the usual point by the green, but they had an ice cream truck by the shelters near the Novotel. So if you wanted to go under the shelter, which I did because I had a meet that I was hosting and I wanted to move it into the shade, you had to go out, and then there was like a little kind of building, like a small kind of shed building next to the Novotel, and you had to kind of squeeze round there to get there. And
Yep,
then on
I
the
got
Saturday,
stuck there.
then yeah, and then Saturday they finally opened it up, but I don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place. So
It got closed
That's
again off
yeah.
by Sunday because I
I
tried
was
to go
gonna.
around there on Sunday and physically got stuck. Like you couldn't pass, and I was like, how are people getting around there? I didn't understand.
That
Yeah,
honestly, that happened to me on Sunday. I noticed it, and I was like, "Oh, they've extended the barriers up to the hotel window. So to get around, you have to go further past the hotels, down an alleyway,
yeah.
then back down." And yeah, yeah, I don't know what to say because I know I'm able to walk around it, no issues with me. But I can imagine those with accessibility issues. They'll just say, "Why are you adding more steps to my journey, especially to go around?" Yeah, yeah, and I don't know how else you do. Even if you cut it off behind the benches rather than in front of the benches where you sit, because I do think actually including those benches as an additional sit down area is actually quite nice. Is there much of a gap between then from the back of the benches to that glass wall? I don't even think you could, especially like you said, you got that shed in the way. Yeah, that is yeah. You can. I just thought of a bat and it's just escaped my head. So you carry on.
I've got one more bad.
You go on.
So it's the layout of the fringe area. So in the fringe area, which is in the south hall, you've got the fringe stage, and then you've got the areas where all the drag queens are that were doing the signings, and then you have the wrestling. Now on Sunday, I went to go meet one of the drag queens, but on the fringe stage they had a band on, and it was good music, but I couldn't hear myself think, let alone hear what like the conversation I was trying to have with. It was Tia Coffee that I was meeting, by the way. So I was trying to have a conversation with Tia Coffee about Doctor Who, and I could just about hear what she was saying to me, but it would have been nicer if that had been in a separate, more quieter area, like you know how the autographers have their own kind of quieter area. Would have been nicer, or it might have been nicer to have it coordinated so that the signings were at a different time to when the music was playing. I don't know. That was my gripe about that.
Yeah, I think I feel like the fringe stage is my fault because I think I've moved it from the outside to inside.
I'm blaming you.
Yeah, I have moaned about that stage outdoors, and like I didn't realize I might, have auditory issues or concentration issues when there's loud music, especially it's music that I can't control. And yeah, I can imagine that like when I'm trying to take photos or trying to talk to people, and when you're shouting, it really takes it out of you. I totally understand that. So yeah, I think wherever you put that fringe stage, unless you put it in its own little room and somehow isolate the sound from it, it's gonna be tough. But yeah, I do feel your pain. I really do. So yeah, sorry about that, Sophia. No, okay.
No.
No. I thought it was like I thought it was myself. Oh no, don't
were you
worry, Eddie.
expecting
I
a
don't really
response?
blame you. Sorry, what was that?
I said, were you expecting a response?
Yeah, I was just like, oh no, don't worry, Eddie. It's not your fault. I mean, yeah, thank you, but clearly it is my fault. Thanks. I can't remember, by the way, my bad, so I will just skip it. So don't worry. But yeah,
It'll come to you like right at the end.
Oh yeah, when we finish the podcast that day,
Yeah.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, "Oh, that was it." But I'd like to say that I overall did have a good weekend. I really had a really smashing weekend. Like I said, I think maybe the heat thing. I just said it's going to be hot and deal with it, and yeah, I think so. And I had some really touching interactions with certain people. I just want to just call out Lisa Art, who we were doing a TikTok video thing, and she actually I don't know if it's gone out now or will go out, but she drew me a watercolor paint, a self-portrait of me, And I was really taken aback by it. So I was like, oh, that's really nice. So that's what really gave me such a nice experience of that week. And I didn't even include it in my vlog. That's how emotional I was, because like, oh my God, I didn't have time to like think about it. So yeah. Yeah, so I've had a good weekend. We will talk about an ugly if everyone has an ugly, but I'm hoping that everyone did have a good weekend.
Yeah,
I did.
definitely.
I had a really good weekend. It's nice being back, and I didn't realize how much I'd missed it until I was back. And just on a weirdly selfish point, it's extremely nice to have people coming up and just being like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy you're back!" Like, just to know that my friends didn't forget about me over my hiatus, you know?
No,
Because obviously
absolutely.
I'm
No.
like you just like communities move on so quickly, you know. So the fact that I've
Oh
not
yeah.
really made any cosplay content for like 2 years, the fact that I've not been at events, like you always like you are nervous going back to it because you're thinking, oh God, will people remember me? Like, you know, things have moved on. But no, it is really lovely whenever like, because like I used to call them like my cosplay friends, but now they're basically just my friends because I've
Yeah.
known everybody for so long, and we all kind of just, like we see each other outside of cons and stuff as well, and it's just really validating to know that, you know, it's I've still got a place in the community, you know what I mean?
No,
So
absolutely. No,
I had a really nice time.
no, that's really good, really good. Sophia, did you want to jump in to say if you did have a good weekend?
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I do have two uglies.
Oh, okay.
I got two uglies.
I don't have an ugly. Alex, do you have an ugly?
Other than the heat, no.
Okay, then we'll give the floor to Sophia then.
Oh gosh, okay. Okay, so my first ugly, so this was my first year doing being a creator at MCM. And I really don't want this to come across as me being like kind of uppity or something like that. But
Diva! Sorry.
but with so with the creator pass, you get access to the creator lounge, and it was a bit of a letdown. It was still nice to have a quiet area that you could make your content, but um, considering the fact that they're encouraging you to create content, I thought there would be more. So there was, when you went in, there was two or three, there's two or three backdrops, and then there was like kind of like a what was like a porthole with MCM creators, and everyone was signing their name. Um, they said that there was going to be PowerPoints, like so place where you could charge things, but I couldn't see any. Um, and there was some light stands and stuff, but I thought there maybe might be like more to help like encourage you to make more content there. And then the other thing was that they offered refreshments like tea and coffee, but they had no water. There was
Oh.
water fountains, but there was no water buckets on top of them. So they suggested about pouring hot water and waiting it for to cool down. And I know that sounds like really first world problems, but you know, yeah, it was a bit concerning. But it was again, it was nice to have that area just to kind of cool off, and also it was a good chance to meet other people as well and kind of network. So yeah, I just thought there would be more, that's all.
I know what you mean, because I
Yeah.
think so. The only experience I've had like a really posh creator lounge, shall we say? So back in the day when I used to travel into Europe a little bit more, I used to go Stuttgart Comic Con, and I was able to get a press pass for that. And it was actually fellow Brits who also got press passes had to tell me, "Oh, have you been to the press lounge?" I went, "No," because I don't read my emails, because it was clearly written in there. And they said, "Oh, you go up there," and I kept buying my own food in the halls. They were giving away free food and drinks all day. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I'm like going, I can't wait to get my like press pass from MCM or any other event in the UK. But every time I've got something, if once I do, when I got there, I was like, oh, okay, there. And again, not to take anything away, it's nice to have a little area where you can either do some like hideaway content from people or just have a little rest yourself. There should be charging points, but I don't know if the people who are like, should I say, doing the press and all that are taking up all the plugs and all that. There is a little balcony area to do a bit of content up there. It's quite nice, but yeah, I know what you mean. If there could be a little bit more incentive, but then I think what MCM would want you to do is create the content on the MCM floor where everyone else is, rather than back in the little hideaway bits, because I think they really want to promote the inside of the Comic-Con a lot more than the bits on the outside, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so what I was using the Creator Lounge for mainly was I was filming content like in and in the venue and outside, but I was uploading it in the Creator Lounge because I wanted a quiet place to like be able to think and edit my videos while I was there. But it was, yeah, again, it was nice. I didn't get a chance to have a look at the speaker lounge because I would have had access to that as well. Being, I think it was next to Cosplay Central. There was a speaker lounge that you can use as well.
Oh, I forgot to say good. Sorry, apparently there were like workshops up there. There were workshops up there that people could have attended. So there weren't many, but they were all booked out. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so I think if I do a panel again, I would want to try and see if I can see what that's about and see how that differs to the Creator Lounge.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. Sorry to hear about the uglies, but yeah, I've I think the water would. Yeah, that does seem a bit weird. I think that is a venue thing.
It's
that
really
does.
dumb they can provide you hot water but not cold water.
Yeah,
Like,
I
make that
don't
make sense.
I don't blame the MCM staff as such. It might have been out of their control, but I don't think water's that hard to get hold of. So
No.
they could. I think with a few days' notice, they could have got some more in.
Yeah.
And then the other ugly that I have is so they did have a sign about AI artwork, but I did still see some AI
Yeah.
stuff in. I don't think it obviously wasn't in Artist Alley, but it was in the dealers. And I did see an artist there that I know for a fact has been known to use AI artwork, and they are still being promoted there. I won't name names. I'm just because I don't want to get cancelled or anything like that. But
No, yeah, I get. Yeah, I don't understand.
there's certain artists that have been proven to be use AI, and I see them every year at MCM. So I'm hoping that MCM does crack down on this more. I don't know if they did actually have people going round and like kind of following up on this. I know sometimes you do get trading standards going to MCM, and then they're checking these things as well. But yeah, that's my ugly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's. I don't know if trading standards would step in if it's AI art. I know if it's breaking copyright, but don't know about AI art. So that'll be interesting to see that being clamped down in the future. And not saying if they do it, it's like how would they do it? That'd be the interesting thing because I do think it's gonna be hard to like not to say it's AI or not, but how to prove that it's original art because you can still use AI in a sense to create original art. Don't shoot me down for saying that. I'm just saying that you can use it as an aid, not thing for full creation. But yeah, where's the line? Anyway, that's for a different discussion.
There was a stand or two that I saw not in the Artist Alley, but in the other side in Hall End, where you see some artwork and you're like, is that legit or is that AI? Like it's hard to tell. I don't know how you'd prove either way.
It's
But there
usually
are
when
some
they
stands
have
that have me questionable.
yeah. It's usually when they have several different art styles amongst their work. Like I know some people have like slightly different, but like this is like going from anime to like photorealistic to like someone had anime footballers that looked a lot like AI. So that's usually my tell is when I'm going past the store, and that's usually a red flag for AI artwork. Not all the time, but sometimes that is a red flag.
No, I get that. Yeah, I get that. I'm noticing the time, so if that is all from us lot,
One more quick one.
Go on.
It's every single year. It's an ugly for me when I see those stupid bootleg mystery bags. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Oh my god,
the big ones with the anime. And I just don't understand how MCM still allows it. We all know that they're full of bootleg stuff.
Yeah,
and they still get away with doing it.
Yeah, I think someone explained how there's a loophole in it, and I can't remember what the loophole is, but it's something like because it's sealed, they can't actually go in to check if the value is what they say it is. I can't remember.
It's to do with trading standards. So because it's part of a mystery bag, and it's not being sold as seen or something.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so dumb. I know it's so dumb. You just hope that people will just use their own initiative to go, nope, regardless of how much I want that franchise gubbins in a bag, I'll just keep on and go to a proper place where I can get the merchandise that I can see and buy at a reasonable cost. So yes,
I also think it scares people away from dealers because not all the dealers in the dealers part are drop shippers or sell bootleg. There
yeah,
are artists and dealers as well, and because of this thing, it's driving people away from dealers.
yeah. No, absolutely. I don't know if you heard a car drive past my window, so that was me. Not me driving. I'm just saying that noise. Anyway, yeah. I'm not just driving and podcasting at the same
You're
time.
just
God, that would
driving
be
around.
driving around podcasting. That's how I do things. No. Yeah, those. Again, those what you were talking about trading sense. They're the ones that should be definitely being hit up. Anyway, thank you very much, Sophia, for your uglies. I do agree those. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's for another time. I want to go through this list. So thank you for everyone who's posted their thoughts on the thing. I actually should probably refresh it one time. So hang on. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, my face. Oh god, I need to get rid of that. So just to say, so I'll try to pronounce names, but I'm not good at pronouncing names, so do forgive me. But Ms. Jennifer Druitt said, I was in writer's block with the indie authors. I would love to see expanded. There's so many good indie authors who truly thrive there. Again, as I said, Brandon Sanderson really, I think, has give it more validity that could happen. So
I agree. Yeah.
yeah.
Same.
So talking about Brandon Sanderson, I really love the this MCN. Oh, this is Lisa Art. So thank you for the. I need to put a story about it. I really love this MCM, but that's partially because they had my favorite author as a headliner. However, I think they heavily underestimate how popular Brandon Sanderson is. They had an extra queue for everyone who reserved a seat for this panel, and the traditional signing session was sold out before it was officially open. There were some tech issues there. However, I got to meet the man, and I'm overjoyed. Another hiccup is that the competitors in the lip sync competition only heard what they would be in it a week in advance, leaving very little time to prepare. They in brackets they all still slayed it though, so that's good. I'm gonna butcher this cosplay name. It's spelled CULPEOCIRILIX cosplay. So Rix. I'm just gonna butcher that. They made the outside walk to the inside to collect badges much shorter this time, much easier process instead of walking the whole length of the building. They also seem to be some type of aircon inside for the first time. That really made things more comfortable. For me personally, I just felt like it overpowered the different genres of stores, so it gave less balance to the range of things you could pursue or buy. Not too sure about that last statement about the artist. I do think Artist Alley wasn't as spaced. I don't know if it wasn't as spaced out, or the word about Artist Alley is getting more and more popular that people are going to it now. So I wonder if they need to actually start thinking about moving Artist Alley into a bigger section of hall.
Yeah,
Just
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't actually able to get round Arthur's Sally because it was just so busy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't. Someone made a point. Might be in one of the comments here, but someone made the point. It being so close to an entrance and at the beginning of the entrance halls, I think near the west entrance, a lot of people probably went there first, and therefore made things a lot more
Yeah.
busier. Which catch-22. It's great for the artists that saw a lot of traffic and hopefully spent money, but on the other hand, made that area a lot more chaotic and more busier than it usually is. I don't know. So yeah. Can I keep on going?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goldie Critter. Yep. Goldie Critter. Having attended MCM since 2008, I've seen it evolve and change immensely, along with the cosplay community as a whole. The pros, for me, were definitely Cosplay Central. Though some may not like that it's tucked away from a main floor, for me, its location up in the ICC suite with the calmer atmosphere, aircon was a godsend. could actually hear the folks were talking about in the panels rather than having to strain against the immense din of noise that occurs in the main show floors. I think someone mentioned about that. So I think that was you, Sophia, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, the skill of every cosplayer in the masquerade kept going up and up, which makes me immensely proud of every one of them who took to the stage. My con, the show floor itself easily went from one extreme to another, with parts being packed to the points where you could barely move to immense planes of empty spaces. I do get that. I think I know what they're saying, because I think the further I went towards the east entrance, the thinner out the crowd got.
Mm.
Oh, I know what I was going to say about the bad mini bad. I'll keep going through the comments. Remind me about the start times. My
Okay.
first time as a creator, and honestly loved it. Hoping to work with more brilliant peeps in the future, and obviously yourself at future events. MCM is quite quickly becoming more about the cosplay and the people for me, and than the main stores. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So yeah, and there's some subsequent comments after that. I'll let people read those. Me cosplay was so thankful for they had aircon on inside. Normally they don't, and that helped a lot. I think they had to turn it on, regardless if it cost them money or not. They had to turn it on. So because
Yeah, I don't think they could have run it without at all.
yeah, it's quite. I think Health and Safety says you can have there's a limit to either higher temperature or lower temperature for working conditions, but it's not both. You can either have, I can't remember if it's lower. There's a definite low value that they can't go below, or too high, but there's not both. Anyway, and to keep on reading. Where was I? I was disappointed in the people who went and just left rubbish everywhere, though there were so many bins that they were being changed throughout the day. We are a close, loving community. Let's have some decency. And at certain points, the staff gave up with bag checks and checking tickets. I got checked every so often, not consistently, but checked for bag checks. So I'm
I
great.
only
think
got
bag-
checks once, and I had a trolley with me.
Yeah, I get that. I think for me, Alex, you about to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think bag checks are a funny one because it doesn't look like they're checking bags, but the scanners that they have, so they're a similar scanner to what they use in the Disney parks, which is why I know what they look like.
Yeah.
But basically, they can see what's in your bag like on their little screen, so they don't have to physically look. It's only if you've got something that they're unsure about that they'll double check, or like an overly large thing, which is why they
Yeah.
funnel you through those like they basically metal detectors looking things. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
Yeah.
Because when you go through Disney, you've got to hold out like metal things in front of it, otherwise it'll set the alarm off. So it's a similar
Yeah.
situation. So it looks like they're not checking bags, but they actually are.
Yeah. No,
So,
I get that.
yeah.
Just going to go through this. Few more to go. I don't know who this guy is. So Silver Raven 785. There was a guy who was allowed on stage saying he hated bacon and Star Wars. They were children around. He shouldn't be allowed. Look, man. I don't know what happened. I think that guy, he should be given a medal. That's all I'm saying. That should be that the guy on stage. I meant not the person who made the comment. Just want to say.
I wonder who it was who made those comments, huh?
I wonder who. I actually did walk past some bacon this afternoon.
It was it's the same person who also said later on that they didn't like dogs or something.
No, don't like
What?
pet owners. No,
That's it. That's it.
I don't like the people who
Oh.
like pets. But that's a different story. What's her cosplay? Can I quickly cover that over? What her cosplay? I really enjoyed it overall. The MCM team were fantastic, keeping us all in check for the masquerade Saturday. I would say I found having artists right by the entrance. This is the one I read. Right by the entrance is super busy, which was annoying, but it's a first world problem. I found the increase in corporate booze a little annoying, because I found they were overpowered in overpowered N halls a bit, and some people were put off it, even though there were lots of wonderful small shop vendors in there. Not a fan of eBay whatnot live, because of the noise they make during live bids. Can get that. but I know others enjoyed it. I would like to see a crackdown on booths that just sell AliExpress stuff and those rip-off mystery bags. We covered that. Not sure how MCM would go about that. I don't know if they ask vendors what they're selling when they apply. The aircon in the halls were fantastic, much improved on previous year. Security were odd. I didn't get my bag checked once coming in from outside, and on ticket collection, I went through metal detectors, but when I came in from a car park, I just got waved in, no check. So that's, I feel, a bit slack to me. Well, I mean, Alex, you were saying that depending on the technology they're using, they might already can see and no. So yeah,
That's just made me think of another, I guess, bad. It's just come to my brain. Thinking about that with
hold that
stall.
pin. Yep, pin it. Put a pin in that. We'll
Okay.
get back to that one then. Eagle Lives. I was only there Friday and not for long. The artist I didn't have enough space. It needs a big space between the stalls for people to walk through. I just think it was just heavily busy. I think that was it. And last one. I'm gonna butcher this name. Is it Genevia? JENIVERE and then _SH. I really want to give the biggest shout out to the cosplay team at the event, from the prepare desk to the competition crew. Absolute gem, one and all. Kind, helpful, knowledgeable, generally lovely, and saved my bacon so many times. About 5 minutes before I was on stage for Masquerade on Saturday, one of the shades holding the hammock on the side of my wheelchair caught a curtain and came half off. I had an absolute hero there with a phone light helping to get it reattached properly. It was in brackets. It's a very, very hard for me to reach from my chair, so could go out go on stage in one piece. I mean that what a great way to like finish off all the comments about that. So it's good so that definitely people were being acknowledged of it. Right. Before I forget, my bad. Not it's a really small. Not it's like a minor bad. I don't remember Friday starting at 10 a.m. I've always remembered it at 9 a.m. I'm sure of it, and I forgot to check my other passes. So let's they're right next to me. So if I can quickly find one.
Same.
Okay. So this is 2001. What's this? Oh God! Do you know what? I'm sitting in the dark at the moment.
Same. I've got no lights on.
Yeah, it got dark very quickly, I think.
Oh no, that says Birmingham. Ah, there's a London one. Right, there's a London one. Oh, that's a London one. Oh no, it does say Friday 10 a.m. I'm sure.
I think for general it's 12 for 12 start on a Friday, but
I swear
I always had it in my
yeah.
brain it was earlier.
Oh my God, I've gaslit myself. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if I've gaslit myself.
To be fair, I never make it in time for priority entry, so I'm always late, so I never take notice of the start times.
Okay, so I'm bad at that then. Therefore, they've been doing it. I don't know if they could start at 9 a.m. on a Friday. Then I would appreciate that, but yeah, that's it. Alex, you said you had an extra one.
Yeah, it just came to me with what's a cosplay's comment. Charity stands. I work for a charity, so I feel like I'm allowed to say this. I find it really off-putting when I walk past a stand at con and they're trying to get me to sign up for a charity, like to donate monthly donations. Like, I'm not like, I mean, I work for a charity, I give money to charity, completely 100% do it, but I'm at Comic Con. This isn't really the place. You know, I don't see how it's like a relevant thing. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds like an absolute dick thing to say, but like, I don't know. I just find it really off-putting when I've got somebody shouting at me. Like, literally, I had one person. This was at I want to say MegaCon Brum recently, where there's like, "Do you like dogs? Come and sign up." Like, yes, I like dogs, but I don't want to sign up for a monthly donation when I'm stood here at Comic Con holding like a ton of artist alley purchases that I'm like now broke from spending. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's the same as like the paint. There was a paintball stand recently at one of them as well, and I'm like, no. I don't know.
Just want to say her name is Natasha. She's on Instagram called Natasha.
I mean, that's not my name, sir.
That's why I'm going to distance myself with this person.
No, I work for a charity. I work very hard for a charity, so we're good.
Yeah,
I
know you. I know what you mean.
It's a weird thing, you know.
Yeah, I remember trying to like help with a charity, and I was trying to I was jingle the coin pot that they gave me, and apparently I wasn't allowed to do that. I couldn't coerce people. I was like, that's
Yeah.
weird. This is on the streets, though. I will say that.
Yeah. I
But
think it's
Yeah.
illegal to shake the tin.
yeah, which I
Yeah.
didn't know that at the time. So, yeah, that's fine, cool.
It just feels like maybe instead of having a random charity stand there, like, yes, okay, it's important, awareness, all of that, raise money to help whatever the cause is. But instead of having a random charity event, like, how many people honestly sign up to a charity for a monthly donation
Yeah.
at a Comic-Con? Surely we could have a more relevant stand, you know?
I think the one stand, it wasn't here at this MCM, but it's been a previous one. The only one stand I've actually been involved with is Anthony Nolan, which is a stem cell charity, and it was a couple of years ago, and they were like obviously talking about it. So I signed up to the stem cell donor list, and they
Yeah,
do
see
like a little swab and you spit in a tube, and then they add you to the list.
See, something like that I can see why, because they're not asking you for money. It's the ones that are trying to get you to donate money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I know.
I have been unfortunate. I was coerced years ago when I was a lot younger, and I signed up for Dogs Trust, and it was
Yeah.
nice because I had a dog, but unfortunately he passed, and then that's when I stopped donating. But yeah, there's
That's
a
the thing,
lot
I
of
think,
vulnerable people at these events,
yeah,
and yes, it is charity, but you know, sometimes these people can be taken advantage of. Maybe not intentionally,
younger
but
people. Like,
yeah,
if it's your
absolutely.
first con and you're like you're a teenager, like you're very young in that sense, and don't feel like you can say no, you know, because I've had it on the street before when they've tried to, or on like your doorstep trying to do it, and it's very hard
Mm,
as a, like, I'm 33 and I find it hard to say no. So it's
yeah,
like, what are
yeah.
these younger cosplayers who might be like, oh my god, and then they sign up and get stuck. You know, I just feel it's an odd choice for Comic Con
Yeah.
is all.
I did like the switchboard section. They were there there was like the queer swap area and the switchboard there.
Yeah,
I don't think they were asking for donations, but they were like, raising awareness. And I already know lots about
yeah,
switchboard because where I work, we work with switchboard a lot. So I had a good, interesting discussion with the people at Switchboard, and they were giving out sweets and badges and stuff. So I think that's what these charities should be doing, just more like
yeah,
talking about it rather than trying to coerce sign-ups and
yeah.
donations and stuff.
Yeah, it's the coercion that I'm not here for. But in terms of raising awareness and doing fun things like that, absolutely. But yeah, the plain, like, give us your monthly donations, like, at a con, I think, is just not the vibe.
No, I get that. No, absolutely. I've seen how long this podcast is going for. Let's try to end it.
Whoops.
I know it's fine. It's fine.
No.
I know.
We're just
What's gonna
giving you
say?
more work to do, Eddie.
Just listen to us on 2 times speed as well when you do listen to this. That's what I do.
You're giving that advice at the end of the podcast. You do realise that.
Better late than never.
I do want to say, like I said, I do think MC is a good event. I'm not saying it's a perfect event, but I do think it's a really good event. Let's sign off on something positive, either something you have said before, in the goods, or something new. What one good thing about MCM you like to say about it? I'll start with Sophia.
So it's a good that I haven't mentioned, but I would like to shout out to this Cosplay Central team, especially Simon. He was really like reassuring because it was my first panel. I was nervous, and he gave me really good feedback after my panel, and it's made me like really eager to do another one now. So yeah, I can not offer anything but praise for the Cosplay Central team.
No, fantastic. Alex, yourself?
Yeah, I think overall, MCM, I think that MCM always do a really good event, but I think especially now it's kind of come into its own quite a lot, and it's evolved into more of a community type thing, which I really like. So yeah, it was just a really, really good weekend.
No, that's good. That's good. I don't know. I should have thought of one whilst I was just saying, just sitting here listening to you guys. But like I said, I think it's just the number of. I know people moan about how busy it is now. There's too many people, but I generally do like seeing everyone at this event. It's just nice. It's like you were talking about, like cosplay family, cosplay friends at the event. I do consider MCM to be my cosplay family. You know, an extension of my family that I wish I had. So it's just nice to see everyone there. So it's just something that I really look forward to. And like genuinely, even though I'm there's some personal hardships I'm going through at the moment, being here for the first, this is one of the first times I've gone, do you know what? I've actually forgotten about things in my personal life that I've gone, do you know what? I'm happy. So I just want to leave it on that. We got there in the end. So yeah. Anyway, let's end the podcast. At this point, we usually do cosplay handles, cosplay links, links to things. So anyway, Sophia, we'll do handle alphabetically first. So Sophia,
Yeah.
what is your cosplay links?
So my main cosplay is on my TikTok and my Instagram. You can find me at Barthysphere_cosplay. I have noticed a lot of people looking at my Facebook page, and I don't really use that. So don't bother with my Facebook. You won't get any updates on there. It's just Instagram and TikTok.
Fair enough. Alex, where can they find you on the social medias?
So I am only on Instagram at the moment, and that is Natasha Cosplay.
Natasha.
Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I always say Natasha Kun for no reason. I don't know why. There's no reason for me to say that. So yeah. Anyway, if people need to find me on the social medias, if you go to foodandcosplay.org/links, that's where you'll find all my links from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that. There will be. I'm bringing back an old thing. It's called vlogging. So I've actually done a vlog. I've done a
Ooh.
vlog of it, and I was trying to edit it this morning. And it's I say this morning, it's taken me half a day, and I can't believe it's only like lasting about 10 minutes, it's maybe 15. And it's taking me that long just to like edit it down, because I think it started like 4 hours long. I'm like, I'm sure people have better things to do with their time, so I'm like condensing it and trying to take any waffle out that I feel like actually that it means nothing. But yes, please go and hopefully watch that and see how my MCM weekend went. What else? If you go to foodandcosplay.org generally, you'll find cosplay photos. If you go to foodandcosplay.org/podcast, you find podcast topics and guests with these two and other guests on there. And yes, and if you actually go to my Instagram page, although I will try to get a better version of it, although looking at the footage, it lost the last 5-10 minutes of it. I will put up the panel that I recorded up. There's an Instagram version of the panel, and there will be a YouTube version of it on of my panel sometime in the future. But the Instagram one is there now. Just want to plug that now. I do have a Patreon, but it's still under construction. I'm trying to rethink how to do that. And yeah, we'll kind of leave it at that. If that is all that's all done. Can we? Nothing else you want to add?
I'm all
I don't think
good.
so.
Cool. On that note, I'm going to end the podcast then. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you to my guests for actually being here and sharing their views. I'm going to say goodbye, and they're going to say goodbye. So, bangers!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!